Hey everybody, and welcome back to Investment Honey, where we talk about various crypto projects. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I am not your financial advisor. I do not provide financial advice, and I don't even encourage you to invest. But what I am going to do is share with you my own personal opinion and views on the projects discussed on the channel. So we are looking at Sellerekt, and this is saying high rewards for diamond hands. So the number one tokens are rewarding care about diamond hands. JTs, because you guys know I don't like to say this word, can't stop us from mooning. All right. They've got a pre-sale pink sale that's coming up, so I'm going to go ahead and take you there. We can see their pre-sale page, and we can see indicated here that it's upcoming, and that we've got just over 2 days before the pre-sale is going to go live. Now, this is a regular pre-sale; it's not a fair launch, so we can see a hard cap of 250 BNB right here. Sellerekt is here to give back, to the diamond hands what they deserved. Sellerekt is or was born to ingrain the holding or hodling culture in BSC. Investors by rewarding hodlers and punishing the JTs with a 15% tax. Now, in my personal opinion, 15%, that's really not going to stop people from selling. I personally think you can go ahead and jack it up to 40 or 50%. I think you'd still be dealing with the same thing. But either way, can certainly appreciate the effort here. Okay, so they've got a number of things checked off. Low buy tax is 2%. The DApps live, 820%. Staking APY, buybacks, sustainable and deflationary. Now we've seen tokens go ahead and do this. Where they try to get creative in terms of making sure that they can protect the chart or the project. By doing these levers or increased taxes. I've yet to see a project do this successfully, so we'll see if this is going to be any exception. So we see the minimum buy is going to be 0.1, the max is going to be 1.5, so close enough to my sweet spot on there. And we see that, as far as the pre-list rate or pre-sale rate and the list rate, they're going to be the same, so it's not really going to benefit anybody going into pre-sale versus listing, other than the pre-sale might be a little bit easier with it, maybe not as much buying pressure. I don't know. But you guys know on this channel we don't even encourage you to invest, but I'm still going to give you information. So either way, we see the initial market cap is going to be 111, 113. Soft cap is going to be 125. Hard cap is going to be 250. The liquidity lockup time, we're looking at 365 days. And we see here the token metrics, with the sliver of unlocked tokens, which really doesn't concern me all that much. So moving forward, going back up, we're going to see the documentation here. And we can see a number of things to go ahead and take a look at, in terms of the documentation, but we're going to take a look at the tokenomics, so I like to definitely go over, some of this information anytime we go over a crypto project, so we can see the ticker. We can see the network's going to be the BSC, total supply is 10 million, buy tax is going to be 2%, 15% is going to be on the sell side, so they did go ahead and say that's going to be pretty much their mechanism in place to stop people from going ahead and selling prematurely. But, like I said, we'll see how that works out for them, because I just think that 15%, that's really not going to bother anybody. We see a lot of tokens, where their sell tax, is normally, somewhere around in the 10 to 13% range, so 15 is probably not going to be that much of a deterrent, but we'll see. All right, looking at the token allocation, we see 2.5, or actually, sorry about that, looking at tokens, sorry about that. 25% going to pre-sale, 15% to LP, 8% to the team, 7% to marketing, 35% staking, 10% to the ecosystem. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go over to the roadmap here, and we can see what they've got here, 4 different stages. Stage 1, you see website, socials, DApp launch, KYC audit, and safe food. They've already, I don't know that they did that, did they? Yeah, no badges. Sorry, I didn't cover the badges here. So no badges here. But they wanted to go ahead and get KYC audit and safe food. And with only, I think it was just over 2 days before this goes live. Yeah, just over 2 days. Who knows if they're going to go ahead and get into those things. One of the things now, since we mentioned it, that they didn't have any badges, I have not been able to go ahead and find an audit on this project, so I did list that as one of the concerns and red flags. We'll just go ahead and address the concerns and red flags right now. No certificate of KYC has been found, at least not at the time of me scouting the project. Staking was the only utility, at least that I can go ahead and see. The roadmap does mention play to earn, but there's no game or anything mentioned that indicates, where or how token holders are going to be playing to earn anything. With 3 days, at least at the time of me scouting the project, and some hours ago, before the pre-sale, according to my notes going live, there are less than 5 people in the Twitter social. Now, I haven't checked that since I scouted this, but I found that to be a bit concerning as far as Twitter is concerned, and that social media not being able to be used really to increase participation in the pre-sale. The Telegram was started 2 days ago because let's see here. I looked at this, was started on the 20th, so I must have been looking at this yesterday. So there are over 1,700 members in the Telegram. I don't really understand how you can amass that number of people, when your Telegram just started literally 48 hours ago. So, I mean, that's my thoughts there in regards to the concerns and red flags on the project. So we can also see airdrop showing army. You can see in stage 2, pre-launch marketing campaign, pre-sale, DEX listing, decentralized exchange listing. It'd be interesting if they could give us some more information on what's going on here, anything they can specify. CMC and CG listings, you guys already know. They shouldn't be stating they're listing unless they're pre-listed, so that's my thought there. Staking, after launch marketing, stage 3, a showing contest, strategic partnerships, and the DAO, and staking V2. And then in stage 4, we see this play to earn, like I mentioned before, and the V2 on the roadmap. Now, going back up here, just for anybody that may be new to the channel wondering why it's got such an issue, with CMC and CG listing right here. The problem is you can go ahead and dictate when you apply for these two platforms, but you can't tell your audience or your community that you're going to go ahead and get listed in a certain phase of your roadmap because CMC and CoinGecko, they determine when you're going to get listed. There have been projects that have fast-tracked and never got listed on either of these two platforms. There are communities that have gone ahead and paid people that were somehow connected to CMC or CoinGecko and still couldn't get listed because of the chart. So you can't dictate when you're going to go ahead and get listed. That's why I say, unless you're pre-listed, on these platforms, you can't be accurate in terms of what you're communicating to your community that you're going to list. The application makes sense, but to state that you're listing, that doesn't make any sense to me. So we'll go back over, just some more feedback on the roadmap, before we close out the video. So I'm going to head back over to the main page. So we can see, a big old diamond here, because they're trying to go ahead and reward the diamond hands, but we'll see. I mean, we really are living in a culture right now, where on the BSC, the tokens, people just don't hold on to them. They just don't. I mean, that's just the culture right now. We see here a button, for the white paper, socials, for the Telegram and Twitter. We see, what is Sellerekt, so just going ahead and telling you what it's about. Staking, they give you some information about the staking, the tokenomics, we've already talked about the token distribution and the taxes, so they say don't miss the pre-sale and pink sale. Here is a link to go and participate, and it's going to take you straight over to their pink sale page. I mean, this is pretty much, covering the website, so beyond that, as far as, the roadmap, and I'll just go right back over to it. The main thing here is that we don't get timelines. We don't know if we're even going to still be in 2022 when we come to stage 4 here, and they need to specify, what months constitute stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is this all just a 2022 roadmap? I mean, we don't have that information. They do check things off, which I think is important, but yeah, they need to go ahead and just be adding more specifics here. What's currently in process, pending, and ongoing, and I mean, that's pretty much going to do it in terms of feedback here. I just think that there are more things they can communicate in regards to the roadmap, and this roadmap also needs to be on the main page. The reason for that is because most of your traffic is going to be on the main page of your website. It's not going to be to your documentation. Most people in crypto, I'm sorry, if you look at people's trading habits, if you look at just some of the dialogue that takes place in a ton of tokens in their communities, most people don't even know what's in the documentation. And the reason for that is because most people don't look. So if you know that you're not looking and your roadmap is in the documentation where based on just habits that more people are going to go ahead and take a look at your main page in the documentation, the roadmap has to be on the main page. And it needs to also be consistent in terms of what it's communicating as to what you also have, comparatively speaking, in the documentation. So, I mean, that's just my take there in regards to it. So that's going to do it for me, in regards to Sellerekt. We'll see if their 15%, tax will be enough to deter people from selling, but if you know anything, and if you've seen a bunch of different projects, the 15% is likely not going to be enough to deter people from selling. Profits matter to people, and so if there is any profit to be made, and you guys know we don't even encourage you to invest on this channel, but again, if you should decide to proceed and you get into the project and you see that, right away you're seeing a spike on the chart, guess what people are going to do? It doesn't matter if the tax is 20, 30%, 40%, 50%, people are still going to sell. I mean, that's just kind of how it goes, in the BSC right now. So that's going to do it for me on Sellerekt. Thank you so much for watching. As always, if you are not subscribed to this channel yet, please consider subscribing. According to my analytics, we got a lot of people that do watch the content, but they have not yet subscribed. So even at the time of recording this video, we're sitting at 435 subscribers. There's still a lot of people, over 90% that watch these videos and have not yet subscribed. So subscribing is going to be the best way that you can stay connected to the timeliness of the videos. A lot of these videos are time sensitive, so when they get released, it may be the difference between, you being able to get into and participate on a project or not. Now, like I'm going to stress again, we don't encourage you to invest in this channel, but we encourage you to make sure that you get informed. Now, let's assume the scenario that you are informed and you want to participate, or you're the kind of person that's going to go ahead and take that extra mile to go ahead or step to go ahead and get informed about a project. The timeliness of these videos will matter, so the only way to go ahead and make sure that you are going to be able to keep up, with when projects are released, on this channel, and consider this, that we release a lot of projects every week, is to make sure that you're subscribed. Otherwise, you're not going to know, or otherwise you might be late, so, choosing to subscribe is certainly your decision, but again, I'm always going to encourage people watching this content to understand the best way to go ahead and stay connected to just the timeliness of projects launching, and so forth. And sometimes it's really quick. You got to go ahead and be subscribed to be able to, have that information and be notified, when these projects are uploaded, to the channel, so that you can go ahead and be informed and be able to take a look at the project in time to be able to make a decision regarding what you want to do concerning the projects that are released on the channel. So thank you so much for watching. And with that said, if you guys are getting any kind of value, or benefit out of this channel and the projects that are discussed on the channel, make sure that you share the channel with other people so that we can continue to grow and get more of this content on this channel out to more people on the YouTube platform. Thank you so much for watching. You all enjoy the day.